Thank you for sitting down with me, Miss Jade.
Oh, Anna's fine.
All right, Anna, tell me your story.
Well, growing up as an only child, I lived in my parents' shadow. My father was always working in his company, and as you know, my mom was such a community leader. Don't get me wrong, I had incredible parents. I just didn't see them that much. They raised me to be driven and hardworking, plus they set me up well after they died.
Could you tell me how that happened?
What? How they died?
Yes.
October 19th, 2016 will always be a date that I remember. I don't know why we were fighting or where they were going, but all I remember is them wanting me to be with them. It's ironic that I missed the call about the fatal crash because I was complaining to my friend about them. That night changed my life forever.
So why leave luxury and come here?
Buying this compound let me decide my own destiny. I was left $20 million, and with that, I want to honor my parents' memory. I want to live the life that was stolen from them. And, with the way that medicine is progressing, I think people could live up to 200 years old.
Really? 200 years?
Yeah, of course. I won't stop, and I will not stop until I find a method that I will live longer than anyone thought was possible.
Interesting. So suppose you live to be 200. What are you going to do with all that time?
I haven't really thought about that.
Anna, are you scared to die?
Get out.
Excuse me?
Get out.
You all right, man?
I need him to leave.
Sir, you need to get out.
I think we're done here.
Dear Anna, I wrote this letter hoping that you would never have to read it. But if you are, then I've passed away without telling you the greatest thing that ever happened to me. Your father never allowed me to share it with you, even though I needed to. I spent my entire life searching for purpose. At a young age, it was school. Then it became marriage. And recently, it's been public service. Then one day, I was working at a food drive. There was a man I had never met before. We had been working all day, but even at the end, he was cleaning tables with so much joy. I went up to him, asking him what was different about him, and he told me something shocking. He said, I used to be dead to my sins, but now I'm alive in Christ. I am now in heaven, and my prayer is that one day you'll be here with me. Jesus says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Anna, today I want you to be set free from the prison that I was once in. Love, Mom.
Hi, my name's Logan Maddox, and thank you so much for watching my first ever short film, Never Leave Home. I made this film on my last day in Malawi, Africa, when I was stuck in a compound for 24 hours and couldn't leave. And I'm not really one to sit still, so I thought of a film idea that I'd had a few months prior to the trip. See, I was sitting in a church one day, and this preacher looked at me and he said, if you were to die today, do you know where you would go? And in that moment, the Lord, he struck me to my heart. And it was almost with a question. If you know that hell is real and you know you're going to die, what are you going to do to prevent going to hell? And I didn't want to leave that building that I was in out of fear of getting hit by a car. I didn't want to get in the sun out of fear of getting skin cancer, or even get too little sun out of fear of some vitamin deficiency. I became fearful of death. See, that question opened up the biggest fear that I have. I'm not scared of heights or public speaking or spiders or snakes. As a businessman, I'm scared of bankruptcy. As a student, I'm scared of failure. But as for me, Logan Maddox, I was scared of dying without knowing where I would go. And that preacher, he looked at me and he explained to me something I never really understood before. He said that we've all sinned and fallen short of the glory of God, and that the punishment for sin is death. See, sin is what separates us from God. It's our act of rebellion against Him, lying, cheating, lust, greed, anger. Sin is something we've all done, and that it doesn't make us a bad person, it makes us dead. We are dead in our transgressions. We are dead in our sin. But God, being rich in mercy and full of grace, he stepped down from heaven and he lived the perfect life that you and I couldn't. And then he died the death that we deserve. See, I was dead in my sin, but Jesus came and died so I wouldn't have to. So I could be born again. And now when I die, I know where I'm going. My fear that day turned to faith. And I put my faith in Jesus Christ, and I believe in him. That's why I know I'll go to heaven. My biggest fear used to be dying without knowing that I would go to heaven. But now my biggest fear is for you. My biggest fear is that you'll die without knowing that you'll go to heaven. And now that you've heard the simple message of Jesus, I just have one question. What are you going to do next?